Friday, everyone. I'm Ann Birchard. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we're going to make a shaker card. When I saw this frame, the picture, this die set, immediately thought of a shaker card, and it's been a while since I made one. So let's go ahead and make this card. Let me set this aside. I'm going to be using the Picture This die set, the square. It also comes with the circles. Can't wait to work with that one. Then the matching Scallop Contours die for the flower, and the Color and Contour stamp set. So let's start off with stamping. Bring in some very vanilla using Tuxedo Black ink. Probably shaking that. Whoops, I've got some on my block. Gonna make sure that's off before I stamp. Give it a good press. And it's stuck. There we go. Use my chamois. Clean this off, set it aside. Now in my sample card, I use Daffodil Delight, but I think for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and use Blushing Bride. You know, shake things up a bit. Line it up. I'm going to stamp that off. Let me try one more. Wasn't happy with the ink coverage on that one. Sorry if my head's in the way. Now this is like a loose watercoloring, so it's not going to line up perfectly, but it's going to fill in so you get that illusion. Close that up. Bring in the die. I have washi tape on it. You can use washi tape, purple tape. Just make sure you stick it on yourself or clothing to take off some of the tackiness, so then it doesn't ruin your project. Okay, lining this up. Going to bring in the Cut Emboss machine. Run this through. That creaking is not my bones. That's the cutting machine, and that's okay noise. There you go. I'm going to set that aside. Remind me where I put it, because you know I'll be looking for it later. Set that aside. Now, since I have this already up, I'm going to bring in another piece of very vanilla, and I cut this at, what did I cut this at? I think it's 5 1/4 by 4. There's 4. Yep. So cut it 5 1/4 by 4, and I'm going to line up so I have equidistance on the top and bottom, and then side to side. So if my head gets in the way, sorry. And again, I'll be using washi tape to make sure it doesn't move. And I'm going to call that good. Doesn't move during the machine. And I have platform number 1, 2, 3, the project, and then another 3. Don't worry if you forget, it's all written there on the platforms, so it's very easy. Let me show you. See, it tells you what sandwich you need for the different types of die sets or embossing folders. And I can put all of this away now. Okay, take the die off. Now these insides, save them. They have a beautiful stitched edge. You can see that. So same for another project. Don't waste it. Add it to your cup of strips. Okay, and one more. Nice and gentle. Almost there. There we go. Can set that aside. We don't need that. And now I'm going to start making this shaker card. Get all that off. And I'm going to start off with my Stampin' Seal. You could use the Stampin' Seal Plus, but all we're going to do is add adhesive around the edge so I can put my window, or in this case, packaging. And that's my hair. We don't need that in here. Okay, very sticky. So all I did was I cut up the packaging from my die set. Why not recycle, repurpose, reuse, all those good R's. So I'm just setting this on top, making sure that my windows are covered. And if the plastic is hanging on the other side, go ahead and trim it. Yep, I had a little here. Come in with my big scissors. I'm stuck to my project. Again. Doesn't have to be fancy because no one's going to see the back. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Now we're going to build up the wells where we can put our sequins. And for that, I'm going to be using the foam strips. And I'm going to be creating a well all the way around. Now it's your choice. You could have one big open where the sequins can go from top, middle, bottom, or individual wells, which I'm going to do because I think it looks cuter. And trim. Now you want to make sure that the foam tape is butted up against each other so the sequence does not fall out. Grab another strip. These foam strips are so easy to work with. Rotate it. And I'm using my paper snips here. Butt it up. Now for this one and this one, I will share, if you will. Actually, I could go all the way across. I can share this middle one so I can save some of my foam tape here. Okay, that's a perfect size for that one. I need a little bit here. Go. I think the sequins are big enough that it's not going to come out of those at all. Okay, one more square to go. I had fun making this project. Like I said, it's been a while since I've made a shaker card. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and text ANNBIRCHARD, all one word, all caps, to the number 22828 to receive my monthly newsletter where I give you tips, tricks, and techniques, and any specials that Stampin' Up! May have. Save you some money. And when you do sign up, I will send you a in-color stamp ink pad for free. How can you not like that? All right, that is built. Card base. I use mint macaron, cut it 5 1/2, score it 4 1/4, or just fold it in half. Bring in your bone folder, give it a nice crease. Have that all set to go. Set that with my flower. Then here is the designer series paper that matches. It is gorgeous. It's called Hand Pen Designer Series paper, and on the back it tells you what colors are used within the designer series paper. So that's how I knew to pick Blushing Bride and Daffodil Delight, because it told me to. Now, before I take off the backing, I'm going to grab some sequins and This is a good way to use up your stash of sequins. Get back in there. You don't want to be stingy, but you don't want it so full that you can't see the background. I'm going to be finding sequins all day after this. The hazards of craft making. It does not want to come off. I'll take it. It's a good hazard. Could be worse. And a couple more, I think. Let's see. I like it. Call it quits. Put the cap on before this goes everywhere. See, tape on me already. And now I'm going to go ahead and use my Take Your Pick tool just to hold down my project while I rip these off, because I don't want the card to go flying. And then sequins flying, and then there'll be cussing and fists flying, and then I'll have to start over, which I don't want. Almost there. This is very delicate. Okay. If you are using directional designer series paper where there's a definite up and down, make sure it's the direction you want it to go. The good thing is you can always, I'm going to trim this down a bit. You can always rotate it, but it's best to have it. So this was cut at 4 by 5. I'm going to take just 1/8 of an inch off on the sides, just to make sure it's not sticking out. There we go. I like it. Okay, squish. Now I'm going to bring in my tear and tape and put it along the edges. I like to use, this is from a paper pumpkin kit. I like to use that edge. It makes it a nice tear and it's even. And I'm using the tear and tape because of the sequence. There's a bit of extra weight to this, and I don't want it coming apart before I send it off. There you go. Now I'm going to take your pick, release the backing paper, and I've showed this trick before, but bend it back so it goes beyond your project. And I call them the dog ears. So when we put it on our card base, the only adhesive that's exposed is just this little bit. So if I get it crooked, I only have to remove this much and not that much. Grab this corner, bend it back. Just sequence he got loose. Then this one. All right. Bring in my card base and decide what's top and bottom. I think I like that. Make sure the card is opening, yep, correctly. And I can see my dog ears sticking out. Line it up. Sorry, my head's in the way. Silence. It's crucial we get this correct. There we go. Hold it down. Now pull. Pull. Then the other two. And last one. There we go. Loving it. Clean up my mess here so you can see. Now, let's bring in our flower and our silicone mat. So then I can put, you can use glue. I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal. And I'm using the silicone mat so I don't get adhesive on my workspace. And this I can just rub off. Good to go. I'm going to set this over here. Tack it down. A little extra glue. All right. Isn't that fun? Look. You could use all sorts of gems. Seed beads, the sequins, whatever. But let's decorate the inside. So I have another piece of Very Vanilla, again cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment. Thank you for everything. I thought that was beautiful. Kind of here in the center. Lovely. And now, I'll take this off. They have random dots, speckles, I guess. And I'm going to use the Blushing Bride and decorate around it just to give it a little something. There we go. Kind of tight. What happened? There it is. Wipe that off. Fold this up. Get my Stampin' Seal. Put it on the back. Doesn't have to be hurricane proof, just 8-year-old proof. And then line it up. If my top and sides are equidistant, I know the bottom will be. Well, there you go. Made a shaker card using the lovely color and contour and the matching die set and the picture of this. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed this crafting experience with the civil engineer. Hope to see you next week. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you. Bye.